Throughout its lifetime, Minecraft has been on several consoles, from the iconic Xbox 360 with its iconic tutorial world to now being cross-platform from your phone, Switch and PC. But what if you didn't own these consoles? What if you owned a console from 1998? You couldn't possibly play Minecraft on that one, right? Introducing Meese's engine, a backport of Minecraft 1.7.3 running on either the Dreamcast, released in 1998, or the Gamecube from 2001.
The Nintendo shit cube!
Two consoles I'm super passionate about. In fact, here are mine, right on screen. It's not a flex, I swear. But what I'm more passionate about is the stories behind these projects. So I reached out to Meese and asked him some questions. Unfortunately, you'll have to settle for my voice instead of his. I'm sorry. Either way, let's dive into what this project is and why anyone should even care about it. But before we do, give me a little sub so I can feel an ounce of validation in a bleak and cold world. Anyways. Alright, statistically speaking, around half of you don't even know what either of these consoles are, so let me just explain the most obscure one. In 1998, Sega released the best console ever, the Dreamcast. A revolutionary device that in my opinion was way ahead of its time. It features something that would only come back later, online capability, allowing you to play with friends but also just download content. In 1998, but the most perplexing thing to me is this thing on the back. It's a VGA port, meaning that I don't need an old boxy TV in order to get this working. I can literally just hook this up, plug it into a VGA cable, get a converter to HDMI, and done. But Lunar, I hear you say, if this is the best console ever, why have I never heard from it? Well, it's because it only sold 9 million units in 3 years' time. Compare that to the PS2, which released a little bit after it, which sold 40 million in 3 years' time. Coincidentally, this is also why Sonic Adventure, the second best Sonic game to ever be released, was so buggy on release, as this would start the trend of just rushing Sonic games out in order to get at least some money in the door. Now, I've never owned a Dreamcast when I was young. Until now. Thanks Cecilia for hooking me up, you're a real one. To understand, this console, this one thing, stopped Sega from making any more consoles after it. Which is nuts, because a few years earlier they were the major player in the game. But hold on a second, this thing released in 1998. How can it run a game that released in 2011? Well, that's where today's subject, Meese, comes in. In the retro community collectively known as 5 Old Men in the Basement, and that's not an insult, I play Warhammer, this backport of Minecraft is pretty popular, featuring on many channels all focusing on the project, with the developer Meese being crowned as both a genius and a madman. But where did it all start for them? Well, with the Gamecube.
Shit cube.
Playing games like Mario Sunshine, Zelda, this is an era to him where games were highly optimized to run on lesser hardware. Having never owned a Dreamcast, he just watched some old devlogs online and immediately wanted to get working on this port. In his own words, quote, "The Dreamcast is barely capable of running a game like this, which makes this port even more exciting and challenging." I mean, that's the kind of answer you expect from somebody describing their inspiration as spite, vision, and ambition. And looking at some of the footage, it's clear to see that it's kinda incredible. Now, maybe it's important to state that this isn't Minecraft. Yes, unfortunately, you've fallen for my clickbait trap. This is actually inspired by Classicube, a voxel-based engine which has many similarities to Minecraft 1.7.3 for no reason at all, I promise you. Don't look too deep. This is an entirely open source version of Minecraft that strives to emulate what people call the classic versions of Minecraft. This open source engine forms the basis of Meese's engine, which he optimized specifically to run on the Dreamcast, Gamecube, and now also the Wii. And to put it in his words, most of these consoles have specific limitations causing you to become somewhat creative in the way you optimize these projects. According to Steam's hardware survey, 45% of people have 16 gigabytes of RAM. This will usually allow you to run Minecraft fairly easily, as well as all the mod packs you could ever think of if you put it to 6 gigabytes of RAM. The GameCube only has 88 megabytes. It's not gigabytes, megabytes. That's 900 times less memory than you have in your computer right now. The Dreamcast had 26 megabytes. So it runs Meese's engine at 60 FPS on 26 megabytes. Holy shit. And Meese isn't just content with having the world's most optimized version of Minecraft. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't call this a version of Minecraft at all, because He has so much planned for this. To quote the man himself, Minecraft has some game design flaws that Mojang can't fix without breaking people's world. And one thing is certain, this project has not only shown that it's possible to write Minecraft in a performance-oriented way, but that it's possible to get it running on an old 20-year-old console. Not to mention that on the Gamecube, it has a better rendering distance than base Minecraft. Unbelievable. Now, you're wondering, Lunar, this is made for a console from 2 decades ago, and no one actually has it or uses it. Why should we care? Because this goes further than just a little neat project for the retro community to enjoy. This is a start of a whole new engine and a whole new game. See, it's cool that this runs on a Dreamcast, right? We all had a giggle, even the GameCube and the Wii, pretty cool, right? But the main goal for it is to be its own game. Right now, he even has a PC port of his Dreamcast port in order to debug further. And if you're curious, you can download Classicube for yourself right now on those same consoles and go online on the Classicube servers and play some mini games with friends. But Meese isn't content with that either. He doesn't want it to be a Minecraft clone. Not only does that pose the risk of it getting shut down by Minecraft, but he wants to turn it into an actual game. Something akin to Luanti, the former Mindtest. This is nothing short of one person's showcase on how much our favorite little block game can be pushed. It's the same reason people program Doom on Samsung smart fridges. It's to test their skills as a programmer and devotion to a long lost generation of consoles and games where they used to be finished. They used to be optimized, minus Sonic Adventure, but they would be finished right out the gate. But if you would like to undergo a project like this, Meese does have some advice for you. If you're just starting on a project like this, be ready for a long, challenging journey. It's not something that happens overnight. Expect plenty of failures and setbacks along the way. The key is to keep going. You'll learn from these failures and eventually you'll get there. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Those are some very wise words to leave it on. So let's conclude. As you might have seen, I wasn't exactly able to gather footage of this project on my Dreamcast, because at the time of writing, the game hasn't gotten to a point where Meese feels comfortable releasing it even in pre-alpha. He does have an internal roadmap ready, and I'll be sitting here with my Dreamcast in hand, ready for when it drops. But in conclusion, Meese's engine strives to be a highly optimized version of 1.7.3 made by a bunch of passionate devs who wanted to keep Minecraft's classic feel alive, and now being even more optimized by a talented madman who just wants to play on his 20-year-old console. I can't stress this enough. This thing is older than I am. My hat is not only off to him, but my jaw is still glued to the floor. I wish him nothing but the best of luck, and please don't leave this video going off about Mojang being idiots for not optimizing their game to run on old hardware. But leave with the knowledge that talented people like this have and will always push boundaries of innovation to show us what is possible. But in any case, I was Lunar, you were very awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. And that's a wrap. I would like to thank all my YouTube members and now also the Patreons. I would like to thank the newest Patreon member shown on screen because I can't pronounce his name for shit. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a odd topic, you know, like just covering some weird tech that someone's working on, but it popped on my feed. It was pretty cool. And you know what? We need some positivity here in this community. But you know what we also need? Change. So next video, something completely different, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.